Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm Claire and this is Testing Sobriety Mounjaro UK. This is a midweek mumble because I realised in my last video I didn't really touch on a particular topic that's so important when it comes to the GLP-1 drugs, and that is appetite suppression, food noise. I didn't really go into much detail, and I think that's really important because it's the whole point of the drug, or it's the main one that makes us lose weight. And I wanted to explain how the 2.5 milligram affected me in my 4th week and into my 5th week, because you may or may not experience similar effects with the drug, and I think it's always good just to see other people's experiences and how it compares to our own. I don't think we should be comparing our weight loss and the speed at which we lose weight and all of that stuff, because we all live such different lives. We have different bodies, different environments, different lifestyles, different food choices that we make, so none of that should be compared. But I do think it's nice to see how these drugs affect different people. So with that, the food suppression, or the appetite suppression should I say, for me, I've been finding, so going back to last week and also this week, that the appetite suppression is really strong in the first 3 to 4 days. And it's to the point that it's almost too much. I find it quite difficult to force myself to eat something in the mornings. Now, I'm not a breakfast person anyway, so that might not help. I'm the kind of person that likes to have been up quite a few hours before I first eat something. I just don't feel like eating first thing in the morning. But because I'm really trying to look after my health properly, I want to make sure that I do eat something before I go out and do exercise. If I'm going to do a long walk or a bike ride, then I will make sure now that I eat something more than just a protein shake. And the thing with that is, it's actually really difficult for me to make myself eat before I do that on those first few days. So let's think, this week the appetite suppression is so strong that even I had 100 grams of Greek yogurt with about a handful of frozen raspberries that I defrost, and 10 grams of crushed pecan nuts. I've started to add more into my diet to get more nutrition, because I do feel like I'm having some symptoms of a lack of decent nutrition. I've mentioned before that I got some darkening underneath my eyes. There was a period when I was on lower calories that I was feeling really tired, and now that I've increased the variety of food and my calorie intake, I do feel like I am feeling so much better. So that's why I included nuts in with this breakfast. And to me, it's not a big breakfast. 100 grams of yogurt, a little bit of fruit and nuts is really not a difficult breakfast to eat. Back when I was on keto, I would have seen that as a snack. I mean, I did have it as a breakfast, but within an hour or two I was probably having something else as well. So it never used to be something I would consider a filling meal. But I was looking at it, and I think this was day 3, I was looking at this bowl of food and just thinking, I just don't want to eat it. And then I'm eating it. Like, I do find once I start eating, I get a bit more enthusiastic about it. So it's not like I'm 100% really don't want to be eating it, but it's a bit of a struggle. And then I mentioned in a previous video that I am going to make myself eat eggs, because I've gone off of them since I started these injections. So I probably should have saved the omelette for near the end of the week when I've got more appetite, but I did try an omelette. I think it must have been about day 2, just a cheese omelette, 2 eggs, 30 grams of cheese. I think I mixed in with a little bit of milk, and I really didn't want to eat that, even more so than the yogurt. I mean, obviously if I'm not really feeling eggs right now, it's not surprising, but that was a struggle to eat, and I did leave some. I really forced myself to eat as much as possible, but I left, like, you know, not loads, I left that much of the omelette. So the appetite suppression is very strong in those first 3 to 4 days, and then I find that I do start to get hunger, say around halfway through day 4ish. I realise, oh, you know, I actually feel really hungry, and I feel like I want to eat. I'm a bit excited about food, not to the degree that I used to be, but there is more passion to eat. And then I feel more open to a lot more variety of food. But the great thing is, because I start to then you feel like, oh God, is it wearing off? What if this isn't working for me anymore? Do I need to up the dose? You start to have all these thoughts. But then I find that once I prepare myself some food, and I feel like I could eat a lot, but once I start eating, I realise that I am feeling full quite quickly. So I might start eating and think, oh, this doesn't look that much, might have something else afterwards. And I love the freedom of knowing that I can, if I really want to, I can go and have a cream egg or a bag of crisps, but I still haven't really felt the need to. I think I've eaten 1 bag of crisps, maybe 2 cream eggs in the last 5 weeks. And I love that. I found keto, whilst keto was the best diet for me that I've ever followed, it still wasn't that good because I still overate. I didn't want to count my calories or my macros, and I hated the restriction of not being able to eat anything, like, you know, anything with sugar in it, or anything that is you know, more than sort of 5 grams of carbs in it. It was a bit depressing. So I love the freedom of being able to eat what I want on these drugs, and there's a joy in knowing that I can, if I want, have a cream egg. If I want, I can have a bit of cake, but I don't, most of the time I don't want to. But it's just this pure joy in knowing I can, like knowing that you can, like you're not restricting yourself is so freeing. And so yeah, I'm finding that day 4, maybe day 5, we're on day 5 now, and I haven't eaten yet. I'm on night shifts at the moment, and I think we're about 2 p.m. at the moment. I got up about 12, half 12, so I haven't eaten yet. But what I find as well, I have had my coffee. I find that the coffee fills me up almost like having had some breakfast. So if I really needed to fit in eating some food before leaving the house, I would have to skip the coffee because the coffee just fills me up. So yeah, here we are on day 5, and I'm still feeling full from having a cup of coffee an hour ago. And I mean, it's a revelation. It's crazy. And yeah, having to kind of, you know, really try to get more calories in, because as I said in my last video, I want to increase my calories, lose weight slowly, and make sure that I'm not damaging my metabolism. So I found last week, once we got into day sort of 6/7, that's when the hunger really came back quite strong, and I did have some cravings for more things, and I did find that the food wasn't filling me up in the same way that it did earlier in the week. So obviously I haven't got there yet. I've still got tomorrow and the next day to go, on Tuesday, Wednesday, yeah, tomorrow and the next day to go, and that will take me to the 7 days. I'm not sure when exactly I'm going to take the jab. I will be off, so it won't be at midnight like it was last week. I took it at midnight on the Thursday night, early hours of the Friday morning. I won't be doing that because I'm going to be days off, and I'm meeting friends for a Thai meal on Tuesday night. So part of me thinks to take the jab a little earlier, like a day earlier, so that the suppression isn't quite so strong. But then part of me thinks, why? I mean, I can just order less, take away what I don't eat. And the whole point of this medication is to reduce your calorie intake and to get you making healthier choices. So I do have this debate sometimes. I see people that decide to not take the medication because they've got a holiday coming up. And I always wonder, is that because you get side effects, in which case it makes perfect sense, or is it because you actually want to overeat on your holiday? And I can't quite I mean, each to your own. I'm not judging on that. Each to your own, and maybe when it comes to my next holiday I will have more of an understanding of what I want to do. But I think because I gained half a stone on my last holiday when I was not on this medication, I went to an all-inclusive. The dessert selection was crazy, and I've got a sweet tooth. So obviously I took myself off keto. So I was on keto before the holiday. I was down to about 11.5 stone, which is about the lowest weight I tended to get to on keto before something came up like Christmas, a holiday, birthdays, etc. And then I would end up gaining weight. So on my last holiday, I obviously stopped following keto and went to an all-inclusive resort and gorged on cake with every meal, 3 meals a day. Half a stone gained in a week. Horrendous. I felt really awful for that, and therefore I think I would just take my medication before I go on holiday. I won't be doing all-inclusive ever again anyway. I think it's really unhealthy for me with my willpower, and also my other half had the same problem. He's got a sweet tooth, more than me in fact. So the way we destroyed cakes was shocking. So neither of us want to do all-inclusive again. It was just one of those, it came up as a really good deal, so we went for it. We're not drinkers either, so we're not getting the full effects of the all-inclusive, as someone who drinks alcohol can save an absolute fortune at an all-inclusive resort, even if they don't eat the food. But we're going off on a tangent. This is really just to say that, do I really want to be messing around with my day that I take it if just because I'm going out for a meal? I'm not sure on that. I think maybe I should just take it as normal. But we digress. Another thing is I might end up adjusting my day that I take it, because I might, if I find the effects of the 2.5 milligram fall off quicker in the week but still fairly strong at the beginning of the week, then I might continue with 2.5 but do it every 5 or 6 days. So that's open for me. I said it in the last video, it's very much a suck it and see exercise when it comes to these things: dosing, timing, calorie intake. But yeah, I'm still on an increased calorie intake, so I am actually managing to take in 1200 calories a day at least. And because yesterday was my first night shift, that's always a very long day because I'm up all day. I might have a nap, sort of for a couple of hours, but then I'm up all night, so that's a really extended period of time to be awake. So that's always been a challenge, to how to limit my calories on that day. So I did actually have, I think I might have had 1600, if not 1400. Let's check. So I do track everything in MyFitnessPal. I used to find tracking mentally draining, but on this, because I know that I'm unlikely to go over my calories anyway without tracking, this is just a way for me to check my nutrition is okay, that I'm getting my protein. But I do like to keep a track of my calories, because obviously I might see things and then realise I need to change things. Okay, I had 1482 calories yesterday, so that's really good. I want some days where I have a much more nutritious and much higher calorie day, so my body doesn't think we're going into starvation mode. So it may well be that today will be a low calorie day because I slept till lunchtime, so I'm up for less time this time around. But I like the option of knowing that I could, if I want, I can go up to 1600 calories, and most of the time it's unlikely to happen unless I suddenly decide that I want to replace a meal with cream eggs or something like that. But I am not really having those desires. So in short then, this video is about appetite suppression on the 2.5 milligram and me being in week 5, and I would say that it is still really good, and I don't feel any desire as yet to go up the doses. But obviously we will see going forward. I think initially I was very adamant, I want to stay on 2.5. Other people have managed to stay on 2.5 the whole time, and now I see that you just have to kind of like get that out of your head. Just because someone else did it doesn't mean you can do it or it's going to work for you. I have to be in tune with myself and be open to whatever I need to do for my goals. Talking of goals, I am approaching my first reward for weight loss. So I set myself a goal that as soon as the scale will say I'm 10 stone something, then I can reward myself. And I've left it open, but basically either a facial, a hot stone massage, or reflexology. They're my favourite things to have when it comes to sort of beauty treatments. I find them really relaxing. So once I hit 10 stone something, that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to book myself a treat. And yeah, at the moment I'm 157 pounds, which is 11 stone 2, I think, or thereabouts. So that's not an official weight because I shouldn't really have weighed myself, but I went to the loo 3 times. Bowel disease. I went to the loo 3 times. I felt really empty and I wanted to get on the scales. I know you do it too sometimes, don't you? Be honest. So that is my current weight. And yes, I'm really close to 10 stone something, and that means I can treat myself to something nice. So I'm looking forward to that. So that's it really. Let me know how you're getting on if you are taking one of these GLP-1 medications. I would love to hear how is the appetite suppression for you, on what dose. Let me know what dose you're taking and how is that appetite suppression. I think if we share this kind of information, it's just useful to know. Don't forget to like this video if you actually liked it. You can click the thumbs down if you didn't. I promise that I will forgive you. And if you would subscribe, which hopefully you would be clicking a thumbs up and then the subscribe button if you like the video. If you didn't, you might decide to tell YouTube, never show me this woman again. And that's fair enough too. I will still forgive you. Bye.